in his server, and they brought that up. Do you have a double standard? And he said the standard that he uses himself is not the same standard that he applies to other people. So he admits that he has a double standard. So I won't be charitable to him. I won't give him anything, because I know, as far as I'm concerned, I look at this like a street fight. There's no rules in a street fight. If I don't do it, he's going to come up and he's going to, like he says, he will use that phrase, I'm going to hang you with the own rope that you gave me, or I'm going to cut you with the knife that you gave me. You know, I'm going to drop the nuclear strength bomb on you. That's what he likes to say. So this is my enemy. I'm not going to be nice to my enemy.
I try to be nice to my enemies when possible. It's actually a better strategy, I believe. Also, if I'm not nice, then I'll either get muted or booted, or even if it's not in his server, he would just leave if I wouldn't be nice. So I think it just appears better if you're nice to him, even if he's not nice to you. Same thing on the street. If someone's not nice to me, I try to still be nice to them. Now, if they still take it extreme.
Well, the problem is that the principle of reciprocation, he's not nice to you. Like, why should you be nice to him? Like, literally goes back to the golden rule. We could just apply his own ethic onto him.
I know, but it makes you look like a bigger person when you're nice. Yeah, I know. You can't get walked all over. I understand this too, and
you can't. No, and not only because of that, you can't. It's not because he insults people, which I think is his problem. It's because he insults people and he just directly misrepresents them. That's the problem. Like, saying that atheists have no ultimate. Where does that come from? Like, what? That's obviously a straw man, because there are atheists who do hold to a necessary existing thing, but it's not a mind, and that's as plausible as, even more plausible as a position than his dumbass idea that a mind can exist outside of temporality, when we can only conceive of a mind as being a processional thing that has thoughts. But the problem with Darth is that he's not only insulting, but he's not charitable either. That's my main problem with him.
Well, he's against atheists, whereas
it doesn't matter. He's against atheists because it's like something. To be fair, if I were to, I'm no psychologist, but he just hates atheists because it's an emotional attachment inside of him that says, "I'm going to hate these group of people." But you gotta remember that he has had a hard past life, right? And I think he just uses this debate style on the internet. He spends most of his days debating people on the internet to vociferously get that out of him, that hatred, and he takes it out on atheists.
I think
most religious people are like that, by the way. I think most religious people are like Darth, whether they like it or not. Some are more mild than others, but most people that are religious, they just have this view of atheists of being like scumbags for no reason. It's not like they have a warrant for it.
I was going to say something.
I could just call them all scumbags. I mean, they're the ones who come up with these lousy ass arguments for God, but it's obviously because they just want God to exist. It's not because they have any rationale to do so. If they would come up with better arguments.
I was going to say something similar. That a lot of religious folks don't care for atheists, but they do have a reason. I think the reason is that we make them second guess their thoughts that are not necessarily based in reality. I would contend that they're not based in reality. Try to be respectful. I don't have anything against theists. I believe that they're generally victims of childhood indoctrination.
Well, that's not. Well, it doesn't matter. You can easily get out of that so-called indoctrination.
I know we did. But
I got out of it.
Yeah, we did, but not everyone can.
It's that most of them are not charitable, and most people, like you mentioned, old people. Most people are laymen, so most people do not understand the apologetics. Most people do not understand the philosophy. What they do is rely on very simplistic videos like Frank Turek, for example, or Ray Comfort, and that's where they get their philosophy from, right? And these people are vehement towards atheists. Right, so what do? They replicate the behavior of those people. The same thing goes with Darth and his minions. His minions just emulate whatever he says. They're parrots, like J. Robin. Like, it would take J. Robin word for word. He sounds just exactly like Darth.
I have a hard time blaming them because Darth is like the only religious person that I see do a decent job of debating. The theists generally.
Darth is not. No, that's he's not a decent debater. If he's a decent debater, then all you need to do to become a decent debater is just scream at people, which anyone can do.
And another thing is, if you don't emulate Darth right down to the T, he'll like go against you eventually, like he does with everyone.
Yeah, so that's the strategy that I think is most effective against Darth Dawkins, is to become like him, emulate his argument, and then you'll see how he crumbles, because he can't give a counter argument to that, because that's the same way he argues for his God, the same exact way. You just replace God with something else as your ultimate, and it follows equally.
Yeah, his Darth Dawkins, like his guess. The way he debates is like not respectable, and it's not effective either. So, yeah, definitely not the best theistic debater.
He's not, because look, he, even against people who aren't familiar with the argument, he does poorly against them as well. Like, he had a stage on Saturday, and he just got mad instantly because they weren't, going along with his script. If he was a better con man, what he would do is just like try to deceive people into falling into these traps so they contradict themselves. That's better. That's a better way of being a con man than just saying, "Oh, get him out of here." Right? It's not like he's even trying anymore.
I could probably do a good impression of him.
Well, I do an impression of him. A lot of people do impressions of him because he's a meme at this point.
Anyone else got any questions?
Worldview.
Before you do your impression, do you have a question for Darth Dawkins Debunked?
Sure. Yeah. I guess, I don't know. This is one I've been thinking of recently. I know people say like we can feel God's presence, but I'm wondering, like, if God is omnipresent, why we wouldn't always feel his presence.
If he is omnipresent, why don't we feel his omnipresence?
Yeah, wait, this is for Darth Dawkins Deep.
Okay, yeah, I was just putting it in my head. DDD, do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to. I'm not going to make any claims about what other people feel. Okay, that's not what I'm trying to do. That's not my objective, my intent. So he can say that he feels anything, or anyone can say they feel anything. I don't really have anything to say about that. It's not part of what I'm trying to do.
So basically, to give you an idea of what he's doing, he's trying to show the utter lunacy of Darth Dawkins in a more advanced way that Tom Rabbit does, because Tom Rabbit just records conversations. He actually doesn't go through the type of analysis that Darth Dawkins Debunked goes through, which would be to record what Darth says and compare it to some other thing which appear to be in contrast, contradicting each other, right? And that's just to expose that his argument is weak, because the only way